Hey, well, hello everyone, and we just went through this Sunday chapter 5 of Daniel, and so we're just going to break it down a little bit, and we're going to do this in four parts. The first being verses 1 through 4. We're going to look at the feast, and this is the feast of Belshazzar, and again, Belshazzar is a co-regent. He is a co-ruler with his father, Nebuchadnezzar, and he is just one of a series of worthless kings that have followed Nebuchadnezzar that we saw at the end of chapter 4. And so here comes Belshazzar on the scene, and history as well as the scripture here show that he's kind of a worthless king. And again, he's a co-regent, so his father Nebuchadnezzar has been captured already by the Medo-Persians, and he doesn't know that, but obviously he doesn't care because he's throwing a feast. And history tells us that the Medo-Persians were encamped all around Babylon, and Belshazzar is taking comfort in the fact that he's got these walls that are impenetrable. They got tons of food storage, and so he's just got this arrogance about what he is capable of doing. And so again, not really a good thing to be doing as far as a king. He's throwing a party when he should be preparing for battle. And it kind of reminds me of a contrast between another king that we see that was considered godly, King David. He should have been out battling, but instead he was sitting on a rooftop looking at a woman. And so, as we can see, leaders ought to be, handling the business that is important. And otherwise, we see here, along with David, that it doesn't quite work out so well. So anyway, Belshazzar has this great feast. There's a bunch of people there. And one of the key things in these four passages is you notice that Daniel refers to the drink or wine or some sort of reference to alcohol in these four passages, each one of them. And even in verse 2, it says, under the influence of wine. And so Belshazzar, obviously, he doesn't make good decisions anyway, but this really just kind of takes it to a whole nother level. He goes and he decides to go get the sacred utensils and stuff from that was used in the temple for worship to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He brings it, and then he just goes on and has this party. And so anyway, he's just not making these great decisions. And he's surrounded by a bunch of people that are obviously... They notice the camps that are sitting outside the walls of Babylon, and still they're okay with feasting. They're okay with doing all these things. And nobody is there to challenge him and say, hey, maybe you should handle your business in another way. Maybe we should consider that this threat might be something that we should strongly consider. Anyway, so for this video, I just want us to consider one thing, and that's a question of this feast and the whole context that's going on. Do we have people in our lives that can witness negligence on our behalf? Are there people in our lives that can look on and see that there's pending danger that is maybe in the form of sin or just something wrong in our lives that they might be able to speak into it rather than just joining us in the revelry? And so for us, consider that, because that is super important, especially for our spiritual health. Do we have those around us that are able to notice the things in our life that need tending to, and can they speak that into our lives?